Welcome everyone to another episode of
Scientific thinkers.
Scientific Thinkers. And friends, this is a different episode. Do you know why?
Because we're going to talk about planning.
We're gonna talk about planning. So, Pragna, she has a school week off this week, right?
Yeah.
So we thought, why don't we do something fun with this week? And as you all know, scientific thinker is Pragna's business that she's trying to create. So we thought maybe we can spend this week to talk about business, right?
Yes.
Yes. So each day we'll pick a topic and we'll talk about it. And Pragna will read about it, I'll read about it, and then we'll come and share
What we've read.
what we have read, and so we all could learn how to do business. That sounds fun.
Yes.
So, and this, so do you want to talk about how we want to spread our 5 days?
Yes.
Yes.
So, on Monday we're gonna do planning. Today we're gonna read about product. On Wednesday we're gonna read about marketing, and on Thursday we're gonna read about sales, and on Friday we're gonna do some business planning.
So the idea is every day we'll take a big part of what we need to know to run a business, and we'll just talk about it. Today is the first day in that series, so we'll talk about planning. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Yes. So let's go very high level, right? So what is business? Do you know what is business?
Business is something that we work on to get money and to share other people about what we're doing and how we're gonna make the world a better place.
All of them are right answer, by the way. So business is very simply having an item or a product, giving it to someone who needs it, and then get something in return. Whether it's a thank you, whether it's some money, whether it's a product back, whether it's whatever, right? So now in scientific thinker context, right? In scientific thinker, what are we trying to sell?
T-shirts.
T-shirts is one of the things. What else? So scientific thinkers is created to spread science, right? So when will scientific thinker be successful? If lot of we are doing a lot of fun science projects, right? And in fact, what we are doing today is a scientific thinker's way to do business. So what we did, we took the difficult part of running a business into some smaller steps that we can learn and we can execute, we can run that, and then we'll see if it's working or not, right?
Yes.
So let's now talk about the planning stage, right? So in the planning stage, we'll just take a step back and we'll look at the entire business as a whole, the entire idea. So we have an idea that we want to work on. We think that you said we're going to do some t-shirts, and we are doing some videos. We want to spread knowledge, right? We want to even teach some kids like us, like you, of how scientific thinking works, right?
Yes.
So if you think back, and again, I want to repeat that. So business is having an item or a product,
And if someone needs it,
finding someone who could use it, and then finding someone who could use it and willing to pay for it. Whether it's by a thank you, whether it's by money, whether it's by another item, right? And then once you have figured out your item and someone buy it, then you want to do Hey, now I want lot of other peoples to buy it too, right? So you want to go faster and faster in finding other people who could buy this item, right? And then the fun part is, you know what's the fun part? Fun part is in making sure that finding you is easier than selling you this thing. What does that mean? That means, so if suppose I say I found someone in Boston who could buy this pen, right?
Yeah.
So this pen is say $2, right? And I took a car, I went all the way to Boston, and we spend maybe $20 on gas to get to Boston. So is that a good idea to give them the $2 pen and spending $20 to get there? No, because if you do the math, you have lost money, right? It was very expensive to get. So in a way, when you gave him this pen costed you $22. Do you know how?
How?
$20 for a gas and $2 for pen. 20 plus 2 is 22. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So the clever part is how we can sell someone something in which getting to someone is easier or cheaper or effective than selling someone something.
What's effective?
Effective means it's easier, right? So there is no wastage. So if I try to call you and you don't have a phone, how can I call you? I can't call you. So I was looking for your phone number and I wasted the entire time, but you don't have a phone number. So efficient way is I should know what you have, and then I'll just reach you from there. If you have email, send you an email. If you are just a shout away, I'll call your name, right? So we can do that. Now let's talk about the planning stage, right? Get to the fun part. So in planning, as we said, starting a business is about having an item, finding someone who could buy this, selling them that item, right?
Yeah.
Now, and then there's other fun stuff in that too. So suppose I found this pen, I want to sell this pen to Pragna. Easy business, right? Now, the other fun part about business is to see the business grow. So I can sell this guy this pen, and I have a bunch of other pens that I could sell, right? That means I need to have a lot more people in my team who could sell it for me, who could build it for me, right? Who could create some interesting stuff. I need to have partnerships. Do you know what's partnerships?
Where partners help you and do all the stuff for you.
Yes, beautifully, rightly said, Pragna. So having partners, they will help you. So if I found a teacher, now teacher always use pen to teach kids, right? So if teacher says, hey Pragna, I like your pens, maybe she can give it to 30 of her students or 20 of her students, the pen. So instantly, the moment you found teacher, you found 20 other people to sell it to, right? And friends, so these are some of articles that we came across when we were working on the planning piece for kids. I'll share that link in the video, so you all can see. So now, as we said, part of business is finding a product and then figuring out how we can sell a product, right?
Yes.
Figuring out who all can sell a product and build a product. That's your team, right? Figuring out how many partners do you need, how many friends do you need. If suppose in this pen you need someone who can make this cover, this cap. You want someone who can make this cap.
But if you don't have all the materials for the pen, then how can you make all of them and sell it?
That's a very good point. So you want to make sure you have everything, right? So you will only go out selling once you have a product in hand, right? So you have, by the time you have a product, you've figured out how this thing is made. This is already designed. There's a cap going on. Everything is there, right? Now in scientific thinkers, if we think about scientific thinking, we need a lot of friends doing scientific projects, right? So what would be a beautiful product that we could sell? And that's why we design t-shirt, right? Because the t-shirt idea is, if we make t-shirts good enough, number one, our friends could pay to wear that t-shirt. Make sense?
Makes sense.
And then if they wear a t-shirt, they will, even when they're wearing it, they're proudly saying they are scientific thinkers.
To other people. Other people
could join in.
Yeah.
You're right, absolutely right. So create a team, build a product. Now, other thing that we need to talk about is marketing. That we'll cover in a day 2. Day 3. So in marketing, what is marketing?
Marketing is when you like put an ad where everyone looks and then they want it. So if this pen was in the ad and someone wants to buy it, then they easily know it's there by the ad, so they can go and get it.
Right, absolutely right. So that's what Pragna very well said. So marketing is, it tells the market
That
there's a product.
There's a product.
And you can see, right? That's marketing. What is sales?
Sales is when you guess what price is your t-shirt, and then you say, hey, like if my t-shirt was $10 and I'm like, hey, my t-shirt is $10. So you have to figure out how much money would it take for your product.
I think this is one of the part of sales is sales strategy. How much is this item? How much is this pen worth? How much should you ask for it? And then the other part is selling it. Figuring out, you say this is $2, or maybe I say it's $20, and then you went to someone, say, hey, buy this for $20, and they will say it's too expensive for $20. Then you do $15, and then no, it's still expensive. Then $10. So that's the sales part. You're trying to figure out at what price, at what value someone is willing to pay.
Value?
What value means what you think it's worth, right? So if you have this pen, now you can write stuff, right? Whenever you need to write something, you need a pen. And by the way, we'll talk about value in marketing and sales days as well. We'll cover that. But it's basically what is this worth? How much you are willing to pay for it? What is the problem it's solving for you? How bad or how bigger the problem is for you? If it's a bigger problem that it's solving, you would pay more money, right?
Yes.
Right? If you don't care, if you already have another pen and it's just another pen, you might not pay too much for this, right? So you have to figure out what value this pen is solving for you. So so that's the planning. So in planning stage, we'll in 5 days we'll talk about. So we talked about the business piece, right?
Yes.
Right. So now we'll talk about marketing. We'll talk about sales. We'll talk about the product, like what all products we scientific thinkers should have, or we should create to let a lot of other people know that we should think in scientific thinking, right?
Yes.
And then we talk about sales. We talk about the business planning. So at the end, once we have figured out sales, marketing, product, and team, we'll talk about how we will grow. So this would be a fun 1 week. So stay with us.
And
keep
on watching.
Keep on watching this. See you tomorrow with the product video. We'll talk about the product strategy, what products we have, how we can do that. And do leave your comments. And on the description there will be links that you could use. What do you think, Pragna?
Good.
I think it was fun. We're looking forward to this 1 week, right? It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes.
We'll be learning fun stuffs.
Very fun.
Be scientific and keep on thinking.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye.